Hi, this is Captain Video, and today you're watching a speedy review of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant XL, The Samurai, Usagi Yojimbo. Nickelodeon has ended its 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, and the last remnant of that show when it comes to retail stores seems to be this jumbo-sized action figure that appeared in a few episodes of Tales of the TMNT. And because I'm such a huge Ninja Turtles fan, I'm excited to show you this oversized figure today. But before we begin, please subscribe to this channel to stay notified about future videos. Usagi Yojimbo is a creator-owned comic by Japanese-American artist Stan Sakai. First published in 1984, it tells the epic saga of Miyamoto Usagi, a samurai rabbit living in 17th century Japan. Usagi has appeared in 3 different Ninja Turtle cartoons and their respective toy lines. In fact, it was the character's appearance in the 1987 series that made so many people confused about the rabbit's name. The original cartoon used Usagi Yojimbo as his actual name, and now 30 years later, a lot of people still get it wrong. Thankfully, for example, when Usagi appeared in Nickelodeon's 2012 series, in the season 5 episode Yojimbo, it was correct. I'd encourage you to go find those crossover episodes. They're really good, and the first one was written by Stan Sakai. The turtles are hurled into Usagi's dimension, and they team up to save a child he protects from an ancient evil. While you'd expect Usagi to be included in the standard-sized Ninja Turtles action figures from Playmates, it's kind of a happy surprise to see him included in the XL collection of Titan-sized figures. His appearance in the show didn't even happen until a few months before the series finale. Perhaps the most confusing part of it all is that the character's name is again listed as Usagi Yojimbo on the packaging. The packaging also makes sure both on the front and back to emphasize that this just isn't any rabbit, it's a samurai rabbit. But anyone buying this figure would already know that. Outside of the packaging, this figure looks pretty good, and it's a lot of fun. Not to mention it's really big, standing at 12 inches. For scale, here he is next to some of the standard figures from the same line. I know that the adult toy collector isn't the target audience for these larger sized XL figures. These simple, durable figures are made primarily, at least I think, for small kid-sized hands to hold and bash together. There's a lot more of an emphasis on play than posability here. So often those figures are stiff and tend to look almost like they're always at attention. Therefore, I don't own many figures of this size or scale, because typically, when figures get this tall, things like articulation and detail really suffer. And yet, I really like this figure. The sculpt for this new version of Usagi is pretty close to his original design in the comics, and yes, his appearances on Tales of the TMNT. There's enough personality in his facial expression and details like his ears and the samurai top knot that I think fans of Stan Sakai's comic should also consider this figure, even if they have no allegiance to the Ninja Turtles. The paintwork on this figure is simple and yet clean. While it bugs me that the mouth is unpainted on the figure and yet painted on the packaging's photo, the blue attire and orange sandals really pop on such a white, clean figure. The price point for these Mutant XL figures is low, but there's still a decent amount of articulation. The head can both tilt and turn side to side. There's also articulation at the shoulders, wrists, legs, and though I missed it at first, also in the ankles. Usagi comes with 2 katanas, which actually fit fairly snug in his hands and seem especially sturdy. And while I could quibble about how much I wish you could raise his arms higher, since he is a master swordsman, I still really enjoy this figure. Even with the limited articulation, I had a lot of fun posing this figure around. He's great for playing, posing, or just displaying on a desk or a shelf. This Usagi figure truly stands tall among the competition. At around 12 bucks retail, Usagi puts every other figure I've seen at this scale and price point to shame. And that includes the 4 turtles in this same line. With all that being said, let me thank you again for watching this video. If you liked this review, please consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Usagi. I'd love to eventually see Usagi in his own animated series. And remember, you don't need a cape to be a hero. If you want to be awesome, just treat people awesome.